Hello, welcome to the United Man. My name is Shane. This is the Manchester United versus Inter Milan match review. We're going to be talking about Mason Greenwood, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, or I'll tell you his new name that has been coined by one of my mates and supporters of the channel. And also going to tell you what I thought of overall of the game and man in the match. Wanted to start off with saying it's good to see that we are implementing a whole new ethos because it was definitely needed. You could see when we first started the match, the first half was a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow. That continued on to the first 5/10 minutes of the second half. But obviously substitutions were made. Pereira looked very composed. Fred looks like he may surprise some people. If we don't go out and buy another central midfielder, I believe it's down to Solskjaer believing in Fred and believing that he thinks that Fred can fulfill Herrera's role and beyond, maybe. Not forgetting we did buy him for 50 million this time last summer. So maybe Solskjaer sees something in him that we haven't already seen. Fred did show flashes last season, but the jury's still out on Fred. As I mentioned, the tempo and performance picked up in the second half with the inclusion of Fred and Pereira and countless others. But I think the key battle was in the central areas. I would go as far as to say as the performance actually picked up some as we continued on through the second half. And the fact is, possession was good throughout the game. We retained possession, but possession without penetration means nothing. One of the other points I wanted to talk about was you could see, obviously Rashford, this is when Shaw got down left-hand side, crossed the ball into the box, and Rashford's timing, his cadence was kind of off, and he sort of almost looked like he stepped over the ball or just mistimed it and just didn't get a connection on the ball. But it was good build-up playing, and obviously it was a good chance created. But as I say, it's those sort of natural striker, poacher instincts where they'll get an extra couple of goals a season, maybe an extra 4 or 5. But not to still, it's early days. Obviously the goals that Rashford has already scored were, very good. But it's just those little instances where you can see, maybe a natural striker would have been in the correct position at the correct time and wouldn't have overstepped or jumped the gun and obviously arrived too soon. On to the main, one of the main 2 talking points for me. That is Mason Greenwood. Ladies and gentlemen, a star is born. For those of you who didn't know already, over the past couple of seasons throughout the youth and under 23s, Greenwood has just been smashing in goals for fun. And as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I believe Greenwood coming out of the youth system, he's a better natural finisher than Rashford. And I've seen, if I keep coining him the next Robin van Persie, only in terms of his running style and his finishing and his passing. His body movement just is so reminiscent of Van Persie, and it helps that he's naturally left-footed as well. But he's so cool and composed, which is what you need as a front man. But I really do believe, I've said to friends, I've said to other YouTubers, I believe Greenwood could have maybe not a breakout season, but he'll put people on notice so they know who Mason Greenwood is. Just watch his space on him, because obviously, like I said, a goal he scored, a quick shimmy, drop the shoulder, create space, and bang. There was a lot of bodies in the way as well for him to get that in. So yeah, well impressed with Greenwood, and you'll see my ratings reflect that. And on to the man of the match. This is where I said in the opening intro that there is another name for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, my man of the match day, and probably most other people's as well. He was immense. He was just uncompromising. You can see he's going to put fear into wingers and strikers alike coming up against him, and they'll just end up stop going down at right side. That's how good he is. That's how good he has been. And he's only going to get better. Now, shout out to my boy Terry Weeks. We were talking the other day about Wan-Bissaka, and he said, do you know who Wan-Bissaka reminds me of? He said, think. And I couldn't think. And he said, Lilian Thuram. So for those of you slightly older Man United and football fans indeed, Lilian Thuram was a Juventus legend and France legend, played both right back and centre back. But this guy's a legend, Lilian Thuram. And Terry mentioned just the way he tackles, the way he plays, he's a commanding presence. And when you see him, I was like, wow, yeah, you can absolutely see it. So the new name that we've coined Wan-Bissaka is, or courtesy of Terry, was One Thuram. So yeah, let's see if that one sticks. On to the ratings. Given Tahith Chong a rating of 8, which I thought his performance was really, really good. He looks like he's getting sharper. He looks like he's integrating with the first team a bit more, and he's a bit more confident and comfortable and trying new things. And yeah, let's see his development. I'm not too sure on Chong yet, but let's see how he goes. But today's performances, I'll give him an 8. Pogba, I'll give him an 8 as well. Now, when this guy's on song, we all know he's immense. He's one of the world's best players, let alone midfielders. I'll give him an 8 for his performance today. Mason Greenwood, giving him an 8 officially on the score on the card rater, but he's in between. He's a step better than Pogba and Chong, but just a little bit lower than Wan-Bissaka. But obviously he played the second half, Greenwood. But I'll give him an 8/8.5. And obviously, as I mentioned before, the man of the match for me, and like I said, most others, is Wan-Bissaka, aka One Thuram. Anyway, guys, that is just a quick match review. Let me know if you agree with my selection and also indeed ratings in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.